Hello and welcome everybody to our today's Just Planet webinar. Before I start, I would like to give you some preliminary information, and most of you guys, I guess, are very familiar with that. This is a GoToWebinar, and therefore all attendees are automatically muted, and this is to optimize the quality of audio. In case you have got any questions, please don't hesitate to make use of the chat box, and we guarantee that we will answer every question that is showing up within this webinar or afterwards via email or reaching out to you guys directly. Okay, so let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Elmar Kalovic, and I'm Managing Director and co-owner of Netronic Software, which is the German-based company that provides Just Planet to you. So, and today I'm very happy and proud to present actually the results of our new Just Planet version that we just released on November 21st. So actually the functionality that I would show to you is already provided to you since more than a week now. Basically, we were focusing on two topics. One topic is the ongoing topic performance. And here we were focusing on making our Just Planet application better and more performant in the sense of visualizing the data. And here we were facing issues in those use cases with really big data and in detail with resource data that is showing up with very lot of flexible skill groups. So like where we have got very flexible workers, lots of workers, and then as a result, a high amount of different resource groups with lots of flexible resource in there, then the performance was very impacted by that. And what we did is actually we decreased the amount of data shown with the ghost bars. The ghost bars are those bars that we draw when you have got exactly, guys with lots of skills visualized in different resource groups. And these ghost bars that we also call shadow bars now contain less information. I'm pretty sure that you even did not realize that was the new release, but these very tiny loss of information led to really good improvement of performance. But that was just the first step. I can ensure that with the current sprint, we are already working on the second step, and the second step will also come along with some additional performance gains. But more to that within the next webinar when I'm talking about what we have released then. And now let's focus on our big topic that we are taking care of since now, I guess I would say almost the last 3 months. And that was working on what we call the tablet client. So what is a tablet client? Actually, the tablet client is a piece of software, so a software tool for your operators to set shop floor progress data. And this tablet client is offered as an additional option to the well-known operator client that initially was built to be used on tablet, on smartphone device. So now, as we have learned from you guys that pretty much, I would say more than 90% of our users that, showed up with some feedback concerning the operator client, they were all just explaining that the normal use case on their side is that they run the operator client on tablets. And actually, they were asking if we would be able, to extend the functionality of the operator client, that we also enable people using tablets, to have the additional real estate on that device used in a clever way. So, and this is what we have been taking from your side, and we made some internal discussion, and these discussions were, okay, shall we extend the operator client? And in the end, to show up with what we concluded is that we do provide a second option in addition to the operator client. So the entire functionality concerning the operator client is still in Just Planet, but additionally, you get now an additional client that then can be used on tablet devices that we call the tablet client. And as we now, with having a tablet in mind when designing that new client, we tried to make best use of the additional real estate that you have with using tablets. But furthermore, we also tried to provide additional functionality, and this in terms of having some space for customization, as well as trying to reduce some clicks so that your operators, have an easier way of setting the progress data on the shop floor on a daily basis. So wider range of functionality and better ease of use. So that was a target when designing the tablet client. And before switching to the tablet client and the Just Planet application, I would just guide you quickly through the structure based on this slide here. So like what you see here is a screenshot from the tablet client, and mainly the tablet client is showing up with two main areas. So on the left-hand side, you can see what we call the selection list. So that is the area that shows the workload, pretty much the same as you know that from the operator client. Yeah, so like here, in that case, you can see the selection list, which is 100% identical to the task list or the workload list in the operator client, and where you can select. But in addition to that, on the right-hand side, we have got the functionality that we call the panel to set the shop floor data, and this is now showing up simultaneously. While you guys, I guess you remember, in the operator client, when selecting on the selection list, which is pretty much the first level in the operator client, then the panel overlays the selection list, and you do not have both information at the same time. And this now is what the tablet client enables you. You have got the selection list on the left, and you have got the panel for the shop floor data on the right. So that is basically the main structure or main architecture that is the basis for the tablet client. At the top, here you have got a ribbon bar, and here even you can select between 4 different kinds of structures for your workload to structure the selection list. I'll show that to you in a couple of minutes, and some other functionality here in the ribbon bar, which I will also present to you later. Last but not least, we have got some additional information even. So if you select a task, then you might have the need for some additional information. So, additional information can be something like hyperlinks if you have got some drawings that belong to a dedicated job or a selected operation, or you have got some instructions in a written way or whatever. So then we provide what we call the drop traveler that can be shown in addition based on the selected operation and the job that is belonging to. And this is, so to say, the third kind of, or the third level of information that is included in the operator client. So that was just an overview of the structure. And now, guys, let's switch to the application itself so that you can get a really better look and feel of the new tablet client. And therefore, I'm switching to my Just Planet application. And this is showing some sample data. And as you can see here, there's also some shop floor progress data in there. So that's everything you're pretty familiar with. And let me first show to you. So by the way, this what you see here, I'm logged in now as a planner, and therefore you see the main client here. But also, as I said, you are able, to go as a planner even to the tablet client, and that is via switching to execution. And if you see here, we have got the operator client symbol, and addition, we have the tablet client. So that is working 100% the same. So as a planner, you have got now an additional option, either to switch to the operator client or to the tablet client. Both is possible. But I don't want to go as the planner into the tablet client, because let me quickly show within my settings and the user management so that you get an overview. Here I have got multiple operators, and here you can see I've got one operator defined that is obviously responsible for SAW1, for SAW2, and for both CNCs. And this operator here has the tablet client defined as the default view. So that is the next functionality or the next way of additional option that you should have in mind, that with the operators now we have got an additional default view that you can select from. So like here, normally before that was just main and operator client, and now we have the tablet client. All the rest is working 100% the same as you are used to it, right? So, and this here is defined as a default view, and when entering as this operator on a tablet, then it looks like this. So what you can see here is actually the picture of my iPad Air that is mirrored now to my PC and shared with you guys. So what you see here is by 100% what you would see, or what you do see on an iPad Air. And this is exactly what you have seen before. So like here in that left area, that is the selection list, where you can see the workload here for this operator that is responsible for sawing and CNC. And here with a touch screen, you can then select your jobs according to what do you want to set in regards of the shop floor progress data. And on the right side, you have the panel to set the shop floor progress data. And here you can see that there are 3 tabs. There is one panel that is including starting data, or that is foreseen to set starting data. Then we have got one tab that is foreseen, to set finishing data, and we have got the on-hold functionality. So if I'm going to finish, then this is switching accordingly, or the on-hold is having the on-hold functionality pretty much including the fields that are used from the operator client. And so now, one thing that you have to have in mind is when you, e.g., select a started task. So I'm doing, as I'm doing here now with taking the sawing operation from job 10, then you can see directly the panel reacts, because like it is pretty likely that if you select a started task that you would need the panel to set finishing data, or to set the additional quantity or the remaining quantity if you are time-based, if you're setting a set to time-based shop floor tracking. So actually there's kind of a hopefully smart logic that says, okay, once you have got an operation that is not started yet, as the sawing job from job number 3 here, then the tab switches to the starting tab, which provides, all functionality to set starting information. So here I'm doing that now, and I'm clicking the Start Now button, and that is also kind of an improvement in comparison to the operator client. Once I switch the Start Now button, then it directly sets the data. So it's just one click to set. Remember, in the operator client, you needed to hit the Start Now button plus set shop floor data, but that is reduced. Every functionality that refers to that upper part of the panel allows you to give or to set shop floor progress data within one click. If you have the need to do additional adjustments for shop floor data setting, so like here, if I'm scrolling down in that section, and you can see we have got also the assigned resources. So if you would need to adjust this, then you just click or hit the button adjust shop floor data, and that opens the entire panel in here that allows you, to adjust any data needed. But the most likely case that you just need to hit information in terms of timing, that is done at the upper part of the panel, and that can be done with just one click. Okay, so this is how it works together with the selection and the setting. I guess that's pretty intuitive, isn't it? So furthermore, what you can do is also, as I said here, this picture shows an iPad Air, which is a comparably small device, but still, you can see here there is the assigned resource a bit hidden. But if you want to show this, then you can also, that was not intended, but you can also drag and drop the panel area to the right to make it a bit smaller, so that the selection list is a bit bigger if you prefer it that way. So also this is, let's say, customizable, or you can just, adjust the size according to the actual tablet that you need, so that it fits your preference best. So, and if you want to reset it to the original state, so then we have got in the ribbon bar that symbol, see that here. So like if you click that, then it goes back to the initial setting, which is shared the space half and half. Okay, so then additionally, let me show the job traveler to you. So now I have selected the job number 8 for the sawing currently. So in the task list, kind of the job information is a bit hidden. But if you want to have a better understanding about the overall job structure and the overall progress information and maybe some additional information, so then what you do is you hit that button here, and that is, sliding in the job traveler. And here you can see the job traveler is including information about the job itself. So all job information can be shown. So if you switch to the job routing, then the job routing information is also shown. So here you can see that 6 operations belong to that job in a pretty straight chain. So then currently the sawing is already done, while the CNC is under execution currently, while the EDM setup is waiting after the CNC is done. Furthermore, you can have the task details about the current sawing operation. So if you would have some additional information here given, all shown in that job traveler, or additionally, if hyperlinks are defined for that certain operation. So then this would be shown here. So currently I did not integrate this, but believe me, if you have uploaded hyperlinks or if you have created hyperlinks here, so then you would be able to directly click into the hyperlinks and see information accordingly. So once you have seen these job traveler information you want to hide again, just click the symbol again and the traveler disappears. Okay, so this is the job traveler, but we have got some more functionality in here. And now I want to go to what you can see at the top left of the ribbon bar. So currently it says task list, but we have got by default 3 more options how to structure your selection list. So let me open that. So, and let's continue with the job list. So as the name implies, then the selection list is restructured based on the job sorted by the sequence number as you know it from the job view in the main client. And if I expand here, so then you just see within the selection list just 2 lines that refer here to sawing and CNC. So it's just showing the information that the operator has rights to see. Always remember, so like if you would have given this user like the full control to any operation, then the entire job routing would be shown, right? So this is actually the job list, pretty intuitive. By the way, what we have integrated here in the job list is pretty much the information that you know from the table part of the job view in the main client. So if a job is delayed, you see the delay information on the due date area with the red, and it's also following the coloring of the buffer level that I explained in one of the previous webinars. So that is actually including information of, hey, have an eye on this, you know, this has a high probability or high danger to get late. So all the coloring information that you are used from in the table part of the main client is also shown here in the selection area. So that was the job list in addition to the task list, but you're also able to structure the selection list based on resource information. So here we have got the resource workload that is showing then all resources that the respective operator is in charge of. Remember, still, we have got the two CNCs and we have got the source. And here you can see, obviously, that is showing in total here, when I expand it, in total it's showing 6 lines of what we call the subgrid. And all other information then you need to push forward via these numbers here down below. So that enables you also, you know, to expand furthermore and see more workload of different resources. And if you would switch to the resource group workload, so that is then following the resource grouping structure that you know from the resource group view. So here, then I see both the workload of both saws, so like the saw as one area in total with all operations assigned to it. And here again, this is currently showing 6 lines in the subgrid. But now let's assume that you just prefer to have, e.g., just one saw, but you want to have the entire workload or a bigger workload in the subgrid. And this is also possible because what we do provide in the tablet client is also the possibility that you customize the selection list. How does that work? So therefore, in the ribbon bar, we have got that wrench icon that you know from the main client. And here, opening that, you can see that you can customize the selection views. So, and here you can see that the subgrid page size, as we call that, for both resource workloads and resource group workload is containing 6. And if you would go in there and say edit, and you decide to have, let it be 8, then this will be in the resource workload be extended accordingly. So let me quickly check. So then you can see here longer list. Does that make sense? Is that intuitive? So here you are fully free to customize the structure of your selection list. So you have got as options, as structuring options, the job, the task, the resources and the resource group, and you have got the flexibility, you know, to say how many subgrids you want to have per each list. And furthermore, what you also can do is you cannot only customize like the given defaults, you can also add new ones to this, to your full preference. So that is for defaults, but just add as many as you like, following what criteria and following size of subgrids, whatever you like. Okay, so this is, I guess, a pretty good overview over the tablet client. In the end, as with all new tools, it is my recommendation that you take some time to get familiar with that. And I'm pretty sure that if you have been familiar with the operator client, that you will easily be familiar with this new tool. And hopefully you're just like as enthusiastic as we are, because we see a lot of additional benefit that this tool is providing to you. But before I want to summarize, let me do one other thing. So here, now switching to the main client again, just going to execution, I just want to show to you how it looks like if you start that from here. So like here, just opening the tablet client out of the perspective of the planner. That is then showing a lot of even more real estate, as you can see here. So then if you go to the resource workload, so then you will see all resources and all resource groups. I guess that is nothing I need to explain to you in detail. You guys are experts, you know that. So that just makes sense that if you have got the full access defined for your operators or planners, then it looks like this, showing all information, while if you reduce, you know, the resource amount per operator, then is showing reduced information in that list. But furthermore, let me just quickly show you one additional option that you can make use of. So then this symbol here that you know from the main client also works for the operator client. So if you want to hide the all lines with information containing finished operations, so then just press this icon to hide, because most likely finished operations are not in the biggest focus of operators that want to set shop floor progress data. And what else can I show? Let's go to that sawing operation again. So then if we are having the information of the job traveler, what you also can do is, by the way, when using this printing icon, then you can create a PDF file of the job traveler of the respective job. So I'm opening that. So then currently I see 3 sheets. So with the job details, the routing, and the task information of the selected task. But if you just want to focus on one or just 2 or whatever selection out of that information, then it's also possible to customize. And customizing is second tab within that settings dialog of the tablet client. Here, just hop to job traveler print settings, and here you can easily see now what is including. So if you say, okay, I don't want to have the task details and not the hyperlinks, but just the job details and the routing, so then just, define what you want to get in your PDF accordingly. Okay. So this is actually the overview I wanted to share with you. So that was an overview over the functionality within the tablet client of the current version. Maybe just to have all symbols mentioned here, that symbol is going back to the main client and clicking that symbol, me as a planner then switching back from the tablet client to the main client. As my words implied, this is the current version of the tablet client, and that is, as you could see, fully focusing on providing a tool for operators. But while intensely testing this tool, we have seen that it's actually, in our eyes, providing a lot of helpful functionality or helpful options even for the planner. And therefore, with the current sprint, we aim at also adding functionality for the planner for approval to the tablet client even. So what we have in mind is, with releasing the next version, that also the tablet client can be, planners or schedulers' best friends. So what we have in mind is that in best case, the planner is sitting in front of both, like a one screen that enables him to have a look into the Gantt views, to understand the structure. And on the other hand, there is the tablet client, e.g. for making approval of the shop floor data and so on, just as an option. But this is, what we see makes sense to extend the tablet client as of now. But furthermore, as you know, we are very flexible and very thankful for every feedback you guys have. So when getting familiar with the tablet client and you do see something that in your eyes, would add benefit to the tablet client, please share. So that would be really helpful for us if you guys, share your feedback, share your thoughts with us, and we grant that we listen to you. And once we see the additional benefit of your idea, you can be sure that we will add it to our sprinting scope. Okay, so that was actually it. Hopefully you guys liked what I showed to you. And in that regard, I thank you very much for your kind attention. Please don't hesitate to give any feedback. And yeah, I'm thanking for you guys attending here, maybe also thanking for watching the video that we place on our website afterwards. Looking forward to getting your feedback. Have a great day. Bye-bye.